Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Stickiness is such an interesting thing. We have all played with glue at some point because it can be quite fascinating how it sticks. And once it's stuck, it can't be removed. I remember going into a kid's room where there were stickers everywhere. And I couldn't but smile because I could relate to the fascination. So exciting to think, where can I stick this? The only thing that once it's stuck, then it's done. Now you can't get rid of it, even if you want to. Our minds are such sticky things. It gets very quickly attached, very quickly fixated. A small desire enters, and that's it. Now we can't get rid of that thought. We can't get rid of that desire. Could be as simple as, I want a cup of coffee. Could be, I need a bigger house. I need to move countries. Need to find my life partner. Need to figure out my career. Whatever the desire is, it then stays in the mind. The mind is stuck. Even with people, we grow very fond of certain people. We even love them. But somehow, after a while, we get attached. We want the person to be a particular way. We want the person to spend more time with us, to give us more attention, to be more understanding. This next verse of Bhaja Govindam talks about how at every stage of our lives, we find something to get attached to. Balastavat krida saktaha. When we are children, we get attached to toys. And you might be that child who held on to their blanket or teddy bear, or you know the child. I watched a cousin once watch his blanket go round and round in a washing machine the entire 1.5 hours, waiting for it to come out. Or maybe you had that favorite toy that went on every family dinner and family holiday, and maybe you were the one that cried when it broke. We definitely see children's attachment to toys or to candy. In today's world, it would be to TV shows and iPhones. When we're young, the thing that fascinates us is all these things, and therefore we get attached to it. We get attached to whatever we find fascinating at that stage of life. But fortunately, we all grow out of our teddy bears and our fascination for lollipops, and then we become teenagers, a delight to every parent. At that stage of our lives, biologically built in, there is an attraction to the opposite gender, and so that becomes what the youth constantly think about. You can call it, when they're old enough, it becomes dating. But it's not necessarily to have an actual person there to be fascinated with. So many youngsters choose to be highly fascinated with some popular singer, some actor, some sports player. They're watching all the clips on YouTube. They have posters. Even their display picture is this person that they've never met, but intrigues them. This will last for as long as the person finally does settle into a mature, committed relationship, or may last even after that. But the mind does get extremely preoccupied with it. As we grow older, vritta stava chinta saktaha, we become attached to worrying. This might seem silly, but it's true. We listen to conversations and people are worried about paying the bills, how the economy is so bad. They worry about global warming and worry about preservatives in the food, worry about who's going to take out the garbage, worried about the kids' future, worried about that they said too much, they said too little, or they said all the wrong things. And even if they said everything just perfectly right, they worried about did the other person even understand it. There's no end what we can find to be worried about. And the attachment is trying to fix everything. The attachment is carrying too much of a load on our shoulders and thinking we're that important that we can actually fix everything. And so we can live our whole life going from one stage to the other, being attached to toys, to sex, and then to worrying. And then finally, life ends without us getting attached to the one thing that would be worthwhile getting attached to. Parame Brahmani Kopina Saktaha. No one gets attached to truth. No one gets attached to being perfect. Perfectly loving, perfectly compassionate, perfectly patient. We could be attached to divinity, we could be attached to virtues, but we get distracted by every other desire. In the villages in India, to catch a monkey, they would use a jar with a very narrow neck, or they would take a coconut shell and make a hole which was very narrow. Inside they would fill up peanuts. The monkey would come along, put his hand into the jar, and it would go in quite easily. And then when he held on to the peanuts, when he tried to take his hand out of the jar, it wouldn't come out because the neck of the jar is too narrow. And interestingly, the monkey would be there for hours trying to get those peanuts out of the jar. His hand goes in, but it can't come out with the peanuts. To get it out, he has to let go of the peanuts. Interestingly, when the monkey sees the hunter coming, he just tries more desperately to get the peanuts out. Very few have the intelligence to leave the peanuts, get their hand out, and run. Many monkeys are caught. Many humans are caught in the same way. We could be free if we wanted to. We could let go of these attachments. But do we want to? We could have something higher. We're just not willing to let go of the lower. Think about it.
For more in-depth talks from Swamini Supriyananda and other excellent teachers of the Chinmaya mission, you can subscribe to ChinmayaClicks.com. That's Chinmaya, CLIX.com. You can also visit the Chinmaya channel on YouTube for bite-sized inspiration and discourses on in-depth Vedantic texts. To know about local classes, activities, and upcoming retreats, visit www.chinmayamission.com. And see you on the next podcast.